didn't see you there. You caught me in the middle of eating my Roscoe's chicken and waffles. But now that I have your attention, I'd like to tell you about this week's episode. So Gian and I went to see Buck. The bone. Nasty. Fucking Roscoe's. I expect better from you. Anyway, Gian and I this weekend went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And for those who listen to the show, know I fucking hated the first one. So, for those who are interested to hear about what I have to say about the second one, definitely tune in because this episode is dedicated to Guardians. We go in deep, we talk fan theories, Thanos, the overall MCU. Definitely stay tuned. And, yeah. Without further ado, Daniel and Gian episode 37.
What's good? You are listening to Daniel and Gian Talk Film. I'm Gian.
I'm Daniel. You can hear us today.
You can hear us today. We actually have microphones that aren't connected to computers going on today. But are we going to call this episode 30?
We can call it whatever you want. Doesn't matter.
we'll just we'll call this Daniel and Gian Talk Film. Yeah.
Okay.
Since we're only going to be talking about movies today.
One movie
in particular, and that movie is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 by Marvel Studios / Disney.
Did they have the flicker for the intro? No, huh?
I did. Yeah, they did.
I wasn't paying attention.
They had the same cheesy one they had in front of.
So the new one then.
The new one. They had the new one.
They didn't have the page turning.
They didn't have the.
That's like a Fox thing now, isn't it?
I think so. Maybe. Yeah, that one's better with the
Way
actual
better.
like comic book print instead of the film. I'm guessing that's Disney's way of separating themselves from the comic book.
I would assume so. Or they're trying to make their thing a comic book.
Yeah, maybe. But we just got back a little bit ago. We watched it in Dolby Atmos, which for those of you that aren't familiar is a sound system where... So normally, like your home system is probably 5.1, which means you have...
Maybe 7.1.
Maybe 7.1. But if you have 5.1, that means you have 5 speakers plus a subwoofer. That's the 0.1. 7.1 is 7 speakers plus a subwoofer. Well, Dolby Atmos was it 32 speakers?
No, I think it's like 100 and something.
Was it more 128 something?
Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's definitely over.
Basically, Dolby Atmos is you have speakers everywhere surrounding you. There's speakers above you. There's speakers to the side. There's speakers behind you. Like you're completely. I don't know if there's any below. I don't think there's any below. But
no,
you're basically completely surrounded by sound. It's a cool little gimmick. This is my third time watching a movie in Dolby Atmos, and well, the first time was a shitty experience because we watched that James Franco Oz movie, like the Oz prequel, and it was at the El Rey Theater, and the guy that I went with bought tickets all the way in the back to the point where I think we were like behind the speakers, like the rear speakers, so we didn't get the effect.
Which is weird because they try to eliminate that so there's no holes.
Yeah, but it's at a theater, you know.
That's
I
true.
think that was the problem.
Doesn't say, but there's more than one version of Atmos. There's like, I think Sony has one. It's not Atmos, but it's the same thing. But anyway, we're not really talking about the movie. This is kind of boring. We saw it in Atmos. It didn't really do anything for me extra than it would have. If you didn't say it was Atmos, I wouldn't have been like, wow, the sound was amazing. Was this
Right.
Atmos?
I feel like some of the volume kind of went down a few times, or maybe that was for effect, like mix-wise. But no, I noticed it a few times, like because little things like sounded like they were over here, over there. You know, I don't think it was like fully maximized to its potential per se, but
No.
I definitely did notice it. And
64 total.
It sounded. I thought it sounded good. It sounded good. Well, you know. So for all of you that listen to the podcast, you all know that I'm a Guardians of the Galaxy 1 fan.
And I'm not.
Daniel's not. So we're going to let Daniel start with his impression of the film.
I liked it a lot. It was way better than the first one. And that's one of the first questions I had was this like the first one, or did I just completely miss? Meaning, was it? I felt like the first one wasn't as banter ridden as this one was. I felt like this one was more jokey.
It was just as jokey.
See that? I don't know. Maybe those jokes didn't land on me the first time.
It was just as funny, I think.
I don't know. Maybe because they were already, everyone was established already, so there wasn't any time to be wasted on establishing new people. So I kind of knew the players, and maybe that means if I watch the first one again,
you might like it.
I might like it. Because this time I didn't feel. I don't know. The first one I just felt like was very like, okay, there's this character, here's Rocket, here's whatever, and it was like, whatever. But this one, it was more grounded to the point where they're clearly building off of what had already existed before.
Right.
The sister relationship, which is way more interesting. Just all the characters in general. I don't know, just everything hit for me. And I loved how the movie started too. Which normally I would have hated it because, I don't know, just that juxtaposition of like trying to be cool. Because the beginning was clearly just James Gunn flexing his like, this is going to be funny, whatever. But
well, I don't remember the beginning of the movie being funny. You're talking with Kurt Russell, so the
no,
movie
I'm talking about with the actual Guardians.
The intro.
The intro, yeah.
Okay, so the movie starts out with Kurt Russell and
which I didn't like,
and that making him look younger. And,
I didn't like that either.
And Peter Quill's mom, Star-Lord's mom, like on a date, and then it shoots to the future, which I thought was interesting. It said 2014.
Did it?
It said 20.
Oh, because I was reading when I was after the movie. I had taken a shit, and I was reading because it's supposed to take place a few months after the first one.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm wondering like why. Yeah, like why was that of importance? I thought obviously if they needed to flash the year, which isn't now, there's something to it. There's a reason why. So they're fighting this like
creature.
They get hired to protect something.
The batteries.
Yeah, and this fucking giant fucking nasty octopus.
It looks like it belongs in Men in Black.
And it shoots fucking rainbows out of its face.
It came from like a rainbow dimension.
Yeah. It's fucking huge and attacking them, and they're all like fighting it. And while they're doing that, like Groot is dancing
to music.
And that's when all the credits come out.
That's actually the whole intro is just Groot dancing.
Yeah, and everything's happening in the background.
Out of focus.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot.
I thought it was cool too. I thought it was a really cool intro.
Just because I'm so fucking tired, and nearly all Marvel movies start this way, which is why I fucking hate it. You have to start on an action scene.
Right. Well, they
like that James Bond style where it's
they
like
kind of did start on an action scene,
but it wasn't an act.
But it was in a comedic fashion.
It was done in a creative way where it didn't feel like
it was like was it Airplane or Kentucky Fried Movie, where like
the spoof movie,
all this shit's happening in the background, like someone's talking on the phone and then all the crazy shit's happening out of focus in the background. That's a gag that's been done since like the late 70s.
For sure.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a good way to start them because it's, again, you know the characters. You don't need to waste the time to make that. Because if it were a traditional movie, you wouldn't have seen Groot dancing.
Right.
You would have just seen the straight action.
Right.
And then you have these false...
yeah, it set the tone of the movie.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It just felt like... I don't know, like I think of Man of Steel. Right. They have that 30 fucking minute intro scene
Why'd you have
on
to go
Krypton.
To like the trash of trash movies, dude?
That's the first one I thought of. Because to me, Man of Steel exemplifies a movie that starts off straight action and it's bad.
Right.
But it set the tone for that movie.
Russell Crowe was the best part of that movie, though.
For sure.
Yeah. And he was only in it for 5
Those first
minutes.
30 minutes. No, he's in the 30 minutes.
Were they on Krypton for 30 minutes?
30 fucking minutes, dude.
That's how much I don't care about that movie.
It's annoying, and I've said this before.
Oh, by the way, this is like Cinco de Mayo weekend, and that's why Daniel is appropriating his own third-generation culture.
Yeah. I'm being a tryhard. I'm embracing the tryhard.
Tryhardness. You know, last night when I was driving Lyft, I did not see that many sombreros. I was surprised to not see so many sombreros. That's how fucking...
BuzzFeed, man.
That's how PC we've gotten now.
That's what I said. BuzzFeed and Huffington Post. They probably shared a bunch of things like, don't do this.
Those SJW cucks were against the fucking sombrero wearing on Cinco de Mayo.
How do you feel about that?
I don't give a fuck. Whatever. Like,
but yeah, I liked it. I liked the fact that there wasn't really a story to it in terms of how do I say? They weren't trying to fit this one into the Avengers. I mean,
Right.
into like the Marvel universe. It stood alone. Yeah, there's some name dropping here and there to the overall arching story.
well,
but,
the only person they really talked about was Thanos. That's
Right.
That's the only.
which
Who's the big bad? Going to be the big bad villain? And
I feel like, I mean, I don't know when you want to start talking about, like, there's something I didn't like, but maybe it's just my lack of familiarity with the characters. Is that in the comic books? Is that his dad too?
Ego, the Living Planet?
Yeah.
No, it's somebody different.
Okay, because like I'm not familiar with the fucking Living Planet.
I don't know shit about him either.
So for me, which was very weird, was I just felt like if there was ever an opportunity to utilize Thanos as like a way to like corrupt people or something, I feel like that would have been a way. I don't know if that's what he
So
does,
you wanted
but like
Thanos to be Star-Lord's dad?
no, like a puppet master.
Okay.
Like I have no idea what Ego does in the comic book. So like for me to say this, it might sound really stupid, but in my mind, I'm thinking like maybe his reasoning for spreading himself around the galaxy is like in search of Infinity Stones or something.
Right.
And then that's why there's this trigger where it's like I heard that you felt one.
Right.
that-
You mean
with-
connecting it to the main?
yeah.
The main.
Is that the doorbell?
I think so. It's probably an Amazon package. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
But
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, after all this about finding his dad, and then he finds his dad, and then Kurt Russell is kind of cool, and then they just kind of shoehorn him into a villain. It both worked and then didn't work.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that at all. I mean, I didn't. First of all, I loved it. I fucking love the movie.
For sure. I wouldn't change it.
I was completely entertained the entire time. I laughed. I fucking almost cried. Like it had all the elements. It had action. It was exciting. I think my favorite part is like they really went heavy-handed with Drax.
Drax is hilarious.
He was fucking funny, and I think like, let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. I don't think Batista's a good actor. I think he's a
Me either, but I think he's good for this role.
I think this more than the first movie, like James Gunn, like really utilized. Like he's like, you know what, you're not gonna win an Oscar, so let me just take advantage of your delivery, and it worked fucking brilliantly.
It did.
You know,
That's one of the reasons why I liked it. Actually, was him specifically, like his laugh. Like that shit's hilarious.
Yeah.
When he says he has that line about like my poop is big, or he says
Yeah.
something,
it's historical.
which is like
Yeah.
at first I'm like, that really they're gonna make a poop joke about like I'm gonna poop in your bed, and then like, but it became funny because of
Right.
Drax. Like
Exactly.
it's weird. Like the cheap humor worked.
Right.
Like those
well, because they added an element to the cheap humor. Like it wasn't just a fart joke. It was like
the Guardians of the Galaxy making a fart joke.
right, but like the next level fart joke.
No, it's true. It added a layer. That's why I liked Sovereign, the people, how they, like the first, when you see,
So you start the movie off. Yeah, you're talking about the alien race.
yeah,
Yeah, the people there. So the way the movie starts is
The
they,
Nazis.
they hire the Guardians of the Galaxy. I guess that's the name they're going by now. They hire them to protect them from this big giant fucking octopus
well, they protect the
rainbow
batteries.
monster. To protect the batteries, they have like these special batteries.
That's the MacGuffin of the movie.
So they're there. They protect the batteries, and then we see Rocket stealing some of the batteries.
Right.
For no apparent reason. There was no reason for him.
Other than you can.
Yeah. And he makes a joke about it too, to Drax.
As they're escaping, the sovereign people, they realize that some of their batteries got stolen.
Yeah, they notice that there's batteries stolen, so they try to track them down because like they make a mention that in their culture, like they take everything as offensive, and if you offend someone, it's like
They're gonna kill you.
It's payable by death or
Yep.
punishable by death. So they're chasing after him. They're like, why the fuck are they chasing? And then Drax snitches on Rocket, like, well,
you stole
you did steal the batteries, and he was like, man, what the fuck?
And then he played like, no, I'm just kidding. That didn't happen.
Yeah,
it was funny. But what bothered me about the scene, and it immediately fixed itself, which is why I'm like, yes, Rocket was like, let's just kill people, and he starts mowing down all the people, right?
Right.
And at that moment, I felt weird. Like, I don't know if you felt this way, but I felt like he's just gonna kill. Like, that's murder. It's really weird for me to feel like, because it's kind of a kids movie where it's kind of light and there's no real faces to them and stuff like that, so it doesn't matter. But then it added a whole nother level by making them like a simulate, like they're piloting them remotely like drones. Which I was like, oh, so it doesn't matter if these kills all these things. There's no like human connection, and then it added a funny element to it because it felt like they were playing like an arcade game.
Right. Well, they had the sound effects. They had the old '80s sound effects, like I forget what that Galaga. It was like Galaga sound effects. Whenever somebody died, it went.
And they were all like, "Fuck, dang!" And there's that scene. I say all that to say, there's that scene with when the final pilot dies, and they're all behind him, like
you suck,
you suck, which is such a like.
Even though they all like the people standing behind him had already died before him, but this guy.
It's just funny because you don't hear that in a movie, like someone not in a Marvel movie either. We're like, "Well, you suck,"
right?
It's just that. But did you feel like they were Nazis?
No,
based on like, because that was my reading into it. Like they were based on like the Aryans.
I didn't,
because they were like,
I didn't pick up on that. Maybe that's the case,
perfect,
but I didn't pick up on
perfectly
that.
white.
Well, they're gold.
That's the whole point,
right?
Like to the point of pure perfection, and what would be perfect being gold. And they kind of looked all like this, like cookie cutter. They all had the same haircuts.
Right. They had they're all genetic. I mean, they made it. I mean, there's so many little jokes. There's a joke at the beginning where like Star-Lord like offers himself
to have sex with the main woman.
Well, she's like, well, here we like basically genetically engineer our children. And he's like, well,
I like the old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way. And then she's like, well, perhaps one day we could try that ourselves. And then he's like, perhaps we can. And then Gamora shoots him a dirty look, and then he's like, that's repulsive.
Just kidding.
I don't do that with people I don't know. Like, but
the humor was pretty.
No, it was
pretty PG.
I'm gonna say
PG-16. I think
right
in some
now.
moments.
Oh, absolutely. No, this was not. This is definitely not as much of a kids movie. It's not a kids movie at all compared to the first one.
It's actually kind of. I could actually see myself being, or if I saw this when I was a kid, I could see myself being afraid. Like the Kurt Russell shit at the end, where he's like half, like skeleton and like just flesh,
which was cool. I thought
it was great, but I'm just saying, like, I could totally see myself being afraid because I mean, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. There's that scene where
Large Marge.
That shit scared me for years, dude. And that was like stop motion.
It's funny is I put that movie on for my nephew when he was like 6.
It scared him?
It got to that part. We're like in the other room, and then all you hear was, yeah, like this scream. And we're like, what happened? And he's just, and then I look at the TV and I was like, oh my God, he just got scared by Large Marge. Which is so stupid if you look at what it looks like now.
It is dumb,
terrible,
but when you're 6, it's real.
But the skeletal him wasn't scary. Like it wasn't meant to be scary.
No, I didn't say that it was scary. I'm just saying it's kind of freaky though. It is freaky.
If we want to talk about like what made it not a kids movie, when
the penis joke?
No, not even that. Not the jokes at all. When Yondu gets out of his jail cell and just annihilates every single Ravager on his ship.
Oh, when he kills the dude from Boondock Saints?
That was a brute. No, he didn't kill the guy from Boondock Saints.
Yeah, they threw him out into space.
Yondu didn't do that.
Oh, Yondu. I was thinking of the Taser face.
No, when he breaks out.
No, he breaks out. I don't know. I thought it was Taser
and he has
face.
his new so the fin that he has on his what he has
and
in
they
the
just
actual
murder
comic book.
The whole ship.
And he just murders and it was brutal. Like I was like, wow. I was like, this is if there was blood, this is definitely a rated R scene because it was like, oh my God. Like I was like,
they could have made it rated R by just adding in blood.
Yeah. Oh,
just
absolutely.
on that alone.
It was that scene was like. Fuck, it was violent as shit, man.
It was cool though.
It was awesome. I loved it
because they all deserved it.
Yeah, it was, but it was like,
and that's how you can accept it because they all deserved it.
And then Rocket was killing people too. Like it kind of showed like who these guys are. And I guess the reason why they did that was because they have the scene where they're like, "I'm you, you're me" kind of deal,
right?
Where they're both killers. They're both like,
I thought
they're looking for redemption.
Which I was like, wait, I didn't know if they were like implying that maybe this is actually to be taken literal.
Oh no.
I don't know. I mean, because I'm not familiar with any of the characters, and I don't really remember the first one all that much.
Right. No. He's just saying that. I mean,
I get it.
Yeah.
It's metaphorical,
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, like, oh, well, maybe maybe it could be taken as literal.
Right.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, every single person in Guardians is a murderer except
hurts my head.
for Star-Lord, as far as we know. You know, because Gamora's a murderer. I like this. I almost feel like that scene was too much for the movie. It was a great scene, but I feel like it almost didn't need to go down that way.
What, it was too dark?
I don't know. It would, yeah, like tone wise, it was like really, really. I don't know. I'm like, now that I'm thinking about it,
No, it needed to be in there because it needed to set him up as a hero.
right?
Them both.
Needed to set him up as a hero by killing 90 people with this.
Oh no,
dart.
I thought you were talking about the "I'm you, you're me."
No,
scene.
no, I'm talking about the
Oh.
revenge scene. Like,
Well, you have to show how he gets back. They could I'm sure they could have edited away at any point where they start the killing and then like next thing you know they're escaped.
right,
But I don't know. I don't think if I were to change anything it would be that.
right.
I didn't have a problem with that. It was cool
It was cool
because it's his last movie too, so they actually got to show him like, you know, it was disappointing that he dies at the end
right,
because I was like, yeah, now finally he's a respectable character to where like I'd want to see him on an adventure with him because
Right.
he adds another layer, which is weird because the group's fucking huge already.
yeah,
And then, you know, obviously he died for the story, for
Right.
the theme of the whole story.
right. I mean, we already knew from the first one that he's got a soft spot for Star-Lord. Like, you know, we don't know why.
I didn't know why.
He has, and now we know
That's why I
why.
might like the first one,
Which is
is better.
also like that was. I mean, it wasn't anything new or nothing, but that was a great reveal when we find out.
It wasn't anything new. Nothing in this movie was new,
No.
but it was done in a way where it felt fresh, which is a good compliment.
So I mean, like right now, I think James Gunn is like my favorite like
And
director.
I don't
of
like
the
James
past
Gunn,
5
but
years.
this is
Did you watch Super?
I have never seen.
Oh my
Super.
God, watch Super, dude. That shit is amazing. I can't.
With fucking what's his name from The Office?
With Rain Robert or Rain Wilson.
Wilson?
Yeah, Rain Roberts. I don't even know who Rain Roberts
Me either.
is.
No, it was cool. I like that. I like the action. Special effects were good. Even on like the stupid parts with when they're going through like the interdimensional shit and their faces are all distorted
Which
and
was
stuff.
funny, but that's supposed to be funny.
No, it was. No. I'm
Yeah.
saying like it all looked good even when
Right.
it was trying to be stupid.
Right.
Apparently the world that Kurt Russell, I guess he doesn't live on since it's him. That planet, I guess that's the most like complicated CGI effect ever done. Like to just generate that world.
That's interesting.
That's what I read. Like ever period, because there's like trillions and trillions of polygons
Right.
each time that it's represented. I mean, it's definitely a colorful movie.
Oh yeah. No. Well, I mean, the first movie was really colorful too. It followed.
I feel like
with
that's
that.
just a whole Marvel thing. Like anything in outer space is colorful so far.
Or in like Doctor Strange is in outer space, but it's in another plane and it had a lot of colors as well.
Thor's world is colorful.
Right. Anything that's not on planet Earth.
Anything that's not like
Regular Earth
evil
time.
like Thanos is shit. It's all dark, it's muted. There's like no colors.
Well, no. Dormammu in Doctor Strange is evil. He's basically the devil.
I guess that's true. Well, don't you have to go to like some?
But it's like a different plane when
Yeah,
you're not
I
on.
was gonna say,
when you're
yeah.
not on Earth, things get really colorful.
Who the fuck were the people Stan Lee was talking to?
Oh, those are the Watchers.
And
so
what
we
is
see the
that?
Watchers, and this is interesting because I feel like the Watchers belong to Fantastic Four.
No. Oh, that's what the article is. I had no idea what it was talking. So you might correct me, but I read an article.
Oh, that says that Stan Lee's a Watcher.
Yes.
That there was a theory that he was a Watcher.
And then
Kevin Feige confirmed it.
Yes, and then on top of that, the reason why they're in there is because they have rights to certain Fantastic Four things.
Interesting. Okay,
But now I know I had no idea what they're talking
I might
about.
be wrong, but I feel like one of the Watcher was in one of the in the second Fantastic Four movie. I'm not sure.
I haven't seen any of the
I don't know.
Fantastic
The Watcher's
Fours
like an interesting character.
other than the 2015
Interesting
one.
characters because they like don't do anything.
What are they, Guardians?
No, all they do is watch. That's why they're called the Watchers. They're not allowed to interfere in anything. They're just pretty much there to observe.
For
and
what? They write the comic books?
They write the history of the world. I guess that's.
So they're the comic book people?
I guess they're the comic book people. They're just there to observe. They're strange characters that have never really, I mean, the Hulk punched a Watcher once. That's kind of funny if you look that up. You look at the strip.
Maybe
you could put that up on the. You could put that up on the video later. A picture of the Hulk punching a Watcher, but they're like these guys with big heads.
So would Thanos kill a Watcher? Or there's no purpose
There's certain parts of the Marvel universe, comic book wise, that I've never gotten into. So like, I have no.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah.
Like if you were clapping of excitement in that moment, you're a fucking nerd. Is that what you're saying?
That's pretty nerdy.
Yeah. Like the first time when Thanos came on the screen after the first Avengers, I had no idea who the fuck that guy was. None. I didn't, because I don't,
Well, I don't think you have to be super nerdy to know who Thanos is.
Not if you're not really.
If you're not into comics at all, then yeah.
Comic books. That's the thing. Comic books. Because Thanos wasn't a character on Marvel vs. Capcom.
Are you sure? I feel like he was in one of them. Let's see.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I don't think Thanos was a character. I only say that because if you're on Marvel vs. Capcom, you've entered the mainstream.
He was in 2.
He was in 2?
Yep. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 as a regular character too, not a boss.
What? Has his appearance changed?
Nope.
Or is let me see.
Looks exactly the fucking same.
Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm thinking someone else.
I mean, his colors are a little bit different. Like he's got orange in the game instead of gold. Well, I guess I'm looking at a.
Oh, I do know. Wow, that's interesting. No. I do. That's funny. I fucking hated this character. I don't like big characters. He'd be considered like the bigger character. I don't know what those are called.
Yeah, he's a power
games.
character.
Yeah. They could just fucking keep. No, that's fucking funny. Okay, then I guess I'm retarded.
Yes.
I remember because you would play like people would fight as the Juggernaut against him or my neighbors. Anyway, okay, well I'm wrong. My whole point was when Thanos came out.
You weren't excited about him because you had no context.
But people in the theater that I was at, they were like, they were. It was the best thing ever.
There's some hardcore Thanos fans out there. Like, he was
it's
never
taken a long time to get him into a movie.
Well, because
in this universe,
he's the big baddie,
But he hasn't done anything bad yet.
Everything he's done has been linked to him. Every bad event, almost every bad event has some sort of link.
Not in this movie.
Well, it's been a while since he's done anything that's been linked.
What was the last thing he did bad?
The first Avengers movie.
That's a fucking long time.
Yeah, it is.
It's almost 10 years. We were just talking about this the other day.
I think the reason why is because of the whole Inhumans thing, where the Inhumans were gonna be like a big part.
Oh, and then that movie's coming after the Avengers, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not. I don't even think it's on the docket anymore. Like I don't.
No,
we've talked about this before, but
they just released the first cast photo of Inhumans
for TV.
That's not the same thing.
They're gonna get an ABC show.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Is like Inhumans were supposed to be in the movies, and then the TV department of Marvel and the film department are completely different. And the film department had beef with the TV department, so they stopped and they eliminated the Inhumans movie from the.
I didn't know what's his name was in it. Ramsey.
Oh no, I know. I noticed that too. Inhumans are another group of characters where
Dude, those costumes look stupid.
Yeah, it looks bad. It does look bad. I mean, I've never given a shit about Inhumans. I'm not excited about these ones either. It's it's just.
Are you gonna watch it in IMAX?
The premiere? No.
The first 2 episodes?
No. I might go and watch Guardians again in IMAX. I want it because it was shot in IMAX. I've yet to see a movie.
It was
in
shot
IMAX.
in red, on the red.
I thought it said IMAX. Or did they adjust it for IMAX?
They probably shot with some scenes with the IMAX camera, but it was shot on the red.
Because if you go on the IMAX website, the first thing that comes up is Guardians.
Oh yeah, because most movies don't film all IMAX.
Right.
I actually think Transformers 5 they shot the whole thing on their IMAX digital cameras. Because that was one of the main Michael Bay was one of the big proponents of shooting in IMAX, but not film, but just to get the best image quality digitally. So I think they shot that whole movie in the digital. I don't know though. I can't for certain say.
So you want to go on your little red rant?
I mean, it's not really a rant. I was just excited to see it because, being in the film industry, everyone fucking talks about, Alexa's the best and it represents skin tones and the. Well, if you love Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and you love the way it looks, well, some of that has to go, is because of the special effects and shit like that, whatever. But skin tones look great. Do the skin tones bother you on this one?
No.
Did it stick out?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so because there's nothing wrong with the red, and people who fucking complain about it, unless you're a DP. If you're the DP and you have your preferences, no qualms because that's your job to want a specific look, whatever. But if you're fucking, you don't know shit from anything and you're trying to talk about.
See, the thing with that too is like at the level that you're working right now, I don't have any respect for any of the DPs. Like, I don't give a shit what they think they want because they're still learning themselves. There's like nobody. If they knew what they were doing, they wouldn't be working indie gigs. You know what I mean? Someone would have already hired them to do bigger projects.
It's also super saturated though, to defend them slightly, even though I just shit on them. I mean, it's not like it's easy, and that's the thing. Because of these cameras, it appears like everyone's on the same level, and they're not. And what I mean by that is people just, Red's going to do most of the work or
Right.
Alexa's going to do most of the work.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So now it kind of looks the same.
Absolutely.
And then once you start to understand cinematography, you can actually start to pick out people
Right.
like, it does kind of look the same, but notice what he's doing with the shadows. Notice what he's doing with the whatever. Like, that's how people start standing out. But I feel like since...
These cameras are getting so powerful now that like you don't have to know how to light very well, and you can still get away with shit because you can color. You can like correct it with color later on.
Yeah, it's true. But if you don't light it well, you can't correct shit. That's the most important thing.
Well, there's still a lot of guys that don't light well.
And that's I know I've colored fucking plenty of those videos, and that's why it annoys me because it's like you're gonna spend money on Alexa to rent it, whatever, $1,000 for a weekend, if not more, and then you're not gonna light it properly, and then you're expecting color correction to somehow fix your mistakes. That's what's most annoying.
Right.
Is when I color videos and I make them look leaps and bounds better than when they came in. And then that DP gets to pass it off as if they did that from the beginning.
Right.
Like, but in reality, it's like, no, you actually underexposed, overexposed, whatever the fuck, and I saved your ass.
Right.
You don't shoot well.
Well,
That's
dude,
what's bothering me.
post-production doesn't get any credit. I know that for a fact.
There's a lot of post-production on this film. That's for fucking
level.
sure.
Well, that's the thing when we talk about like, I feel like film features, they appreciate post way more than TV does.
Well, they have to.
Yeah.
If post-production did not exist in the, how do I say this? Without the post team, a strong post team as big as it was on this movie would not be good.
Right.
You couldn't make this movie practically. I felt like there was a lot of practical elements about this movie, which is good. Like at least the makeup and shit is all practical.
Right.
Which is good. That's
no,
good.
that's great. No.
But
I was listening to Batista was on Chris Jericho's podcast this week talking about the movie, and he's talking about how like they had to like because they asked him like
show up
do
like
people
6 hours
because he has a
early.
lot of tattoos, and like do they worry about your tattoos? And he's like, this movie it doesn't matter because they
cover it all up.
yeah they spray paint him down with like this gray like a primer. So there's like a gray paint over him, and then they paint him with the actual paint. So he's got like 2 coats on.
It's fucking crazy, and they have to do that every day.
Every day.
And it has to match.
Yeah, and then they have to put the fake tattoos on him or whatever. I don't know if those are scales or tattoos that Drax.
I don't know
has,
that red shit.
Yeah,
I don't know either. What is Drax?
he's an alien. I don't know.
There's no like.
I think his entire race is dead. Like he's the last of his race.
Didn't his family die?
Yeah,
Isn't that the whole
of
point?
Thanos. That's why he's got a blood revenge for Thanos because his family died. What did you think of Mantis? I thought that was an odd character. I mean,
She was funny.
You know what? I
don't understand.
I'm on the fence about her performance, the actress's performance, because at some points she like was funny, and then other points I was like, she had like a little.
Is that the performance or is that the writing? Because she didn't have very much to do.
I'm just saying more about the delivery of her lines. Like some of her lines, the way they were delivered, I was kind of like,
What was her race? If you had to go off of anything,
the actress?
Yeah.
Oh, she's definitely Asian. Without a doubt, she was Asian. I mean, without even looking at her, all I did was listen, and there was a couple of times where she sounded like.
I know that's what,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like for me, what stuck out about her is not necessarily her performance, but what purpose she served in the overarching thing. Like, why did Ego recruit this? Like
Holy
he found
fuck.
her.
Is she's not Asian.
She's not.
Well, she's blonde.
Fuck.
She might be half Asian. Like
What's her
Now
name?
I'm looking at her, she looks a little exotic.
What's her name?
Her name is Pom, P-O-M, Clementif.
Oh, with the K. That's a weird fucking spelling. Weird last
She's
name.
she's from Quebec.
She's not Asian?
I don't know if she's Asian, man.
She says French actress.
Her mother's Korean.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
She probably owns that restaurant we just ate at. Yeah, French. She's only 5'7". But anyway,
She's only 5'7"? That's taller than you, fuckface.
no, I meant that as in that she's tall. Like,
She looks small in the yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Batista's 6'6", so
that's true. What I was gonna say is, I don't understand. They say that Ego saved her because she was like, whatever,
Right.
neglected or whatever. I forgot what they say. She was forgotten or something. But if his whole purpose is to spread like his seed, like I don't understand why he would keep her around. I don't get it.
Because he needed her for sleep.
Oh, I guess that's right.
Like he found.
Why do you need to sleep?
He found it. Obviously, he's older than he was on Earth. You know, that was something that was like interesting to me too. Like this guy's got all this power. He's a celestial, so he's some sort of like ancient.
Is he the first one in the Marvel universe?
No,
In the film
actually,
universe?
I'm not sure. No, because I think Benicio del Toro is a celestial as well. The Collector. Yeah, I think he's a celestial. I'm not sure though.
I didn't see him in this one. I thought he would come back.
I mean, he wasn't important in the first one.
Howard the Duck came back.
Yeah, I think that's a gag because anybody that grew up in the 80s knows about the Howard the Duck movie. I think fucking George Lucas had like produced it and how terrible.
Well, they're
it
trying
was.
to they're trying to
reboot the character.
yeah,
Yeah.
by making him cool, I guess. He's a fucking duck.
Yeah. Well, in the comic books, he's funny. Like he's got this funny. He's like a funny.
I
dirty
I guess I can't say he's a fucking duck if I just watched a movie with a fucking raccoon in it. Which was fun. Those insults were funny too. A trash panda or whatever.
Yeah,
they call
trash panda was.
a triangle face, and he's all like fucking butthurt.
Yeah. No, that was great. They did a lot of good stuff with that. Let's see.
But yeah, so I don't know. I just feel like
I thought that. So I'm going to say what I thought was weird, and I'm not necessarily on board with was that Kurt Russell's young, early in 1980, and now he's older, but he's this fucking.
it's been 30 years.
He's this all powerful being with all these powers, but he can't stop himself. He's supposed to be immortal, but he can't stop himself from aging. Did he age himself so that when Peter meets him, like he could like
come off as a father?
Exactly. Is that why he
It could
did
be.
it, or is it
Maybe he always looks like that now,
right?
and then he made himself look attractive for the wife.
Exactly. There's that too. But
Because it's fucking weird if you really think about it. So what? He's been alive for millions of years, and he looked like he did in 1980.
Right.
34 years later, he looks like Kurt Russell now.
Right.
So he didn't age for millions of years.
Until if those 34 years. That's what I'm saying. Like, is that
feel like
that a story? Was that done on purpose? Was that or is that a mistake? Like,
I
they
feel
didn't
like
think
that
about
was.
it?
I feel like that was him at his prime. Because if you notice in his little like diorama shit in his house, he's hooking up with all these alien creatures, and he
Right.
looks the young Kurt. So like maybe that's him in his prime,
Or maybe that's the
an error that you're just not supposed to think about.
no, or maybe that's just the form he takes when he wants to bang.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Him in his prime.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's what he looked like when he was in his.
Well, I'm not saying when he's in his prime because we don't know how long he's been doing this.
Oh, like that's
He-
that's the only form of him that
he
has a
could be
dick.
doing this for thousands of years now, and then the only person he was able to get his seed to like actually transfer his genes over was to a human.
Well, no, they made
Yeah.
it. That was the graveyard underneath the thing.
No,
was
all
of his offspring.
all of his offspring that didn't have his genes, they didn't have the power. That's what.
Oh.
They explained that. Like,
Well, see, I interpreted.
that's why he was looking for Star-Lord.
Well, I
so hard.
interpreted that as he was just feeding him the bull because they've all been compatible.
Right.
They've all had the power. They all came here, and he absorbed it all. That was my impression.
Right, like he was feeding off of them.
Yeah, that this wasn't the first time he's ran through this whole story with all these
Right.
other people.
I
That's
don't-
my impression.
I don't think so with this one. I thought
So you think he's really that special? Then?
I thought he is that special, and that also like his mom was special. That's why he said like, I didn't go back the fourth time because there
How
was
many
a chance.
STDs do you think Ego has? Like if you saw his penis,
I think I think he's got some shit.
because he's
going
been
on.
around town for sure.
So let's see. Okay, so I just pulled up the Marvel wiki. Celestials. The Watchers are Celestials. Black Vortex, I have no idea. The Monolith is I know from the comics because they were in an X-Men run. But the second host, the celestial Madonna. The third host,
Madonna, like the singer.
you know, Madonna got her name from somebody, right? The fourth host, the dreaming celestial.
What about the villain
Extermination.
what about the villain in Doctor Strange?
He's not a celestial, no. No,
What about Thanos?
he's part of hell. Like the Doctor Strange introduces the occult, and like
What about Thanos?
Thanos is, and he's a Titan.
So Titans killed Celestials?
No,
I'm assuming based on Greek mythology that Titans killed someone. Titans killed some god
no,
creatures.
the gods killed the Titans.
In Marvel,
No, in Greek mythology.
pretty sure the
No.
the Titans are the first gods and then the gods killed it. No, I thought it was the other way around.
No. So the Earth and the Moon were the first. They're the first gods,
You know what I'm thinking of?
and then they had sex, and out of that sex came the Titans. The Mother Earth is called Gaia.
Yeah, Gaia.
So Titans came from her, and then they had the Greek gods. But Zeus and his brothers and sisters killed the Titans.
You know what I'm thinking of? That's why it's God of War.
Well, there's supposed to
Because
be
in- no,
there's
no, I
supposed to
know.
be elements in God of War.
Well, in God of War, that's the Titans come back.
Well, because Cronus is a Titan.
Well, it's
In
interesting
Greek
how it
mythology,
plays.
Cronus is Zeus's dad.
Right, and he's Kratos kills Cronus. It's fucking I don't know. Never mind. You're right. So then who created Titans?
They're the first gods. Gaia and the what
No, in Marvel universe. Like who created Thanos?
Oh no, he's an alien. He's just from another planet.
So there's more of Thanos.
No, because he murdered his entire planet.
Nice. All right. Well, it sucks if he dies then, because no more little Thanos is running around.
I'm trying to think.
Do you think the first Avengers movie or the next Avengers movie is going to end with him killing all of like the big characters?
Like that's just gonna end the Marvel Universe phases?
No. Well, because the whole new thing is like they want to introduce new blood. Chris Evans is gone. Robert Downey Jr. is gone. Like these are people who are not going to come back because of contract reasons. I'm sure saving money.
I don't know. Like we'll see how.
I've read that.
Let's
I've read
see
that
how
from a few
involved
places.
Iron Man is in the Spider-Man movie.
They're going to kill Robert Downey. He might not kill him, but he's not going to be.
I mean, in the comics, Bucky becomes Captain America, so I feel like they can kill off Chris Evans.
What do you need Iron Man for at this point, though?
Iron Man is the flagship character.
No, besides like for money,
Besides
and
being the
monetary
leader
reasons.
of the Avengers.
Is he though?
Yeah. I mean, I think
Currently?
right. Well, because of Civil War, they're split up.
That's what I'm saying. That's that's who they want the new Avengers to be. These new blood with, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about like from an outside perspective, not from within the Marvel Cinematic
Right.
Universe. Like from an executive perspective,
Right.
they don't want to keep Robert Downey Jr. on.
No, I mean,
Not for $50 million a picture.
no, not only that, but like in a couple of years, he's gonna look old as fuck, and it's just not gonna work. You know.
Maybe. He has interesting aging genes.
Well, he's not drinking anymore or doing drugs. That's why. You know, because he went through that when he
Been
was
there,
like
done that.
in his late teens and early 20s, where we went to prison and lost his career. You know.
What about those teasers? There's no fucking teasers in this movie.
Well, the teaser's Adam Warlock at the end of the movie.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. What the fuck is Adam? Is it Adam or Atom?
No, Adam, like Adam and Eve.
What is the significance?
Adam Warlock. He's just a created being. He's another space character.
He's also blonde.
This is where I'm like
Fantastic Four, it says.
he's another character that I have no connection to whatsoever. Like he's not a biggie. He's not a big character. Like I don't think he has tons of fans. So I'm at a point right now where I don't know where it's going, you know.
According to the Wikipedia page, it says he's a partner with Gamora.
Yeah, he's a space character for sure.
No, like relationship wise.
Oh, whatever.
Uh-oh. Some drama's going to be going down. I don't know.
I mean, they painted it differently, obviously. Like Sylvester Stallone is supposed to be Starhawk, and they didn't show him in Starhawk at all. Like, I don't think Starhawk is a Ravager.
I hope the Magus is introduced.
The Magus is a newer character.
This fucking it's
a gold guy.
No, not on this picture. Let's see if I can send you. Oh yeah, I don't know. How I can send you this picture, but it's some purple guy. Totally looks black. He has a big fucking afro, and he has a lightning bolt in his chest.
The Magus.
I'll put it on the cast page. I just texted you the picture that I'm looking at. It's pretty fucking funny. I guess it's, according to this, the original Magus is an older evil Adam Warlock who has traveled to the past and rules a religious empire called the Universal Church of Truth.
I know.
He gets the Infinity Gauntlet. That's what it says right here.
Yeah, I know that Adam Warlock is a character that, like, that's what the Cocoon comes from. Like, they keep on recreating him. Like, he can keep coming back. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad, I think. But that's a character I really don't know much about because it's in the... I was never into the outer space comic books.
Well, because it gets weird. It gets different.
Yeah, it's not
grounded anymore.
It's not part of the continuity. That's the thing. Like,
It's good, though, that Marvel's made as much money as it has because it's really allowing them to go into, like, a Guardians movie, full-fledged. Like,
oh, yeah.
We'll spend $150 million on this movie. We know we'll get it back.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about it.
I'm sure they spent more on this.
Oh, I'm positive they did.
There's no way this isn't the number one movie this weekend or for the next fucking month, at least, because it was... I don't think anyone's going to come out of the movie, like, saying, don't go see it, it fucking sucked.
There's been a negative buzz about it, though.
From who?
I'm not kidding.
From who? About what?
I haven't read why because I don't want to read spoilers, but people have been saying, like, it's not as good as the first one. It's like it's fun, but it didn't bring anything new to the table. I don't know. These are just little things I haven't read because of spoilers. Let's see what Rotten Tomatoes says.
It's 81%.
Is it? Yeah, see, there you go. It's already lower.
81%. It's 89% fan, 81% critic.
Critics' consensus: Guardians of the Galaxy 2's action-packed plot, dazzling visuals, and irreverent humor add up to a sequel that's almost as fun, if not quite as thrillingly fresh as its predecessor. See, that's that backdoor. Like, it's good, but it wasn't better than the first one. I don't know. I liked it better than the first one. That's for fuck's sake. That's for sure. That's a fact. I don't see why they credit Vin Diesel for, like, did he say those fucking 3 lines? Like, they
he
could
said,
have just...
"I am Groot" at the end of the movie
when
in
he's
the
a
credits.
teenager.
When he's a teenager, that was him.
So he got fucking front billing for that. What do you feel about Sylvester being Cat? Clearly, that whole thing was like a spin-off. It's gonna be a spin-off.
Yeah, I was.
Would you watch a movie with Sylvester as the lead with those things, with those other people?
Yeah, of course I would. Why wouldn't I?
Oh, I would too. But does it excite you?
No, I mean, I didn't think he had the best performance either. Like, I feel like the lines that he was saying aren't meant for him, you know? Like, there was too much honor in the way he was talking. He didn't sound like the New York guy that he is, you know? So I feel like that was... So
$200 million budget.
Performance-wise, I was like, but it was... I like, that's another character that I don't give a shit about. Starhawk is another space character that I know very little, if anything, about. And, I mean, what's he bring to the table? This movie did not advance, like you said earlier, this movie did not advance the Infinity Wars at all. Other than we know there's a group of heroes in outer space who will have to take place.
And that these guys, the Guardians of the Galaxy, can actually fight something.
Batista said on the podcast that he is very largely involved. His Drax is in Infinity Wars a lot.
That's good.
Because he talked about meeting
his personal shit.
RDJ, about how RDJ was like cool as fuck. Like,
they're probably going to use that like personal vendetta thing. I mean, you have the system. There's a lot of there's a lot of reasoning to hate Thanos, but
Yeah.
he's done nothing. We haven't seen him do a single fucking thing.
Well, not him personally, but
Well, that annoys me. That bothers
he
me.
He did send those creatures to Earth during Avengers. He did send them in to steal the thing from Thor's world.
It's not enough.
You know,
It's like it's not hearsay because we know as the audience members that he did this, but it's
Right.
almost it might as well be hearsay.
no, he
And
doesn't. He doesn't have a presence for sure.
And I worry,
And we
that-
haven't mentioned him in the last 3 or 4 movies. So the next major event movie, he needs to heavily be involved. Like he needs to be on screen.
I worry that if he's not, that by the time he does come out, I'm not going to care.
Well, let's look at the phases. What are the next phases? The next movie is going to be Homecoming, which I really hope is not a fucking like origin story at all. We don't need that. My fucking internet's being dumb, or at least my computer is.
It says that I'm reading on Wikipedia that Matthew McConaughey was supposed to be the film's antagonist. So I wonder if that means he was supposed to be the dad.
I could see that, but I don't know how Ego with that Texas drawl, son.
At the beginning of the
Son.
movie, he would have been driving an Infinity.
You and I.
Or what does he drive? Is it an Infinity?
No, is it a Lincoln?
Oh, it's Lincoln, yeah.
Yeah. I've been driving Lincoln since
Volume
before they
2.
stopped paying me. Started paying me to drive a Lincoln.
First to be shot, it was shot with AK. The red weapon AK.
So Spider-Man: Homecoming is next. Then we have Thor in November.
Thor has to have Thanos in it. It's some capacity. It's the fucking only space movie that's coming
Right.
out soon.
And then Black Panther.
No Thanos in that.
And then Infinity War.
Yeah, see, I thought I speculated that he was going to be in this movie because of the
Right.
Gamora connection. He wasn't in the first one, was he?
They showed him because the guy,
Didn't she lose her arm to him?
the bad guy in the first Guardians. No, that was the bad guy in the first Guardians was talking to Thanos, and he was like, "Fuck Thanos, I'm gonna take over." That's
Right.
why he wanted the Infinity Stone. What the fuck was that guy's name? I'm forgetting these characters' names.
Getting old. These movies take forever to come out. Wow, it's only been 3 years. It's interesting. I don't know.
I mean, okay, well, I mean, we're speculating on Ronan. Ronan, the
I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, I don't remember. He was forgettable. He was forgettable like those aliens from Thor 2. Forgettable. That's my problem with a lot of these Avengers things is they're just forgettable things. That's why I liked Sovereign so much because they weren't forgettable.
well, they weren't bad guys though.
They were an oppositional force to the
They
Guardians.
were oppositional force, but they were completely justified. And
Oh no, but they're the bad guys though. They're hunting the Guardians,
Right.
whether or not you like them or not. If they wanted to kill them, so they
Right.
are the bad guys.
right? No, I get you. I'll give you that much.
They're not forgettable. That's my point. But maybe because they're human and they talk,
And they're gold.
they're gold.
Yeah,
Gold member, Austin Powers.
they weren't those blue things with hoodies or whatever the fuck they were. I don't even remember what they look like in Avengers.
I don't know.
Oh, the second Thor, yeah, the bad guys in that are.
I don't even know what
They
they
were
were.
like space elves or some shit
Yeah.
like that. They were.
I worry about the creatures in the next Thor too, because I don't know shit about them either.
Well, the main there's no creatures. It's the main. It's whatever Jeff Goldblum's character's name is.
No, I thought there was a girl, Helena or something.
Yeah, but she's a part. She's going to be a part of Thor's team after that movie. She's not a bad guy. She's a hero.
Oh, well, I don't know.
It's-
Thanks for spoiling it.
It's what I know, right? This guy. It's the champions. What the fuck is a? God damn it! See,
Do you think they'll kill Hulk?
No? He's CGI.
So, I'm saying like, do you think who's gonna kill Thanos? Who do you think is gonna kill Thanos?
Captain America.
Do you think so?
No, I don't know.
Well, because that's what I'm trying to imagine. Like, how does Thanos maybe he hasn't been in any of the movies because they haven't fucking figured out how to portray him like in a movie yet.
No, definitely.
Because it's like, do you have him come to Earth?
He's like a mad scientist, but he's also huge.
Who,
Like,
Thanos?
Thanos is like supposed to be like 8 feet tall. You
Really?
know, it's-
Only 8 feet?
That's still pretty fucking big, man.
I pictured him like at least 20 feet.
No, he's not that big. Thanos is not that big.
He looks pretty fucking big though.
It's like 8 feet, 9 feet tall, I'm sure. So the Grandmaster.
So Hulk is bigger than Thanos.
The Grandmaster is the bad guy in Thor. And he likes to play games. So the movie's going to be about him pitting people like fight heroes against each other.
Well, Doctor Strange has to factor in it somehow. He's in it.
Well, the magic, yeah, there's magic involved. But this is another kind of outer space movie as well, you know. I mean, the Thor universe is it's interesting because it's like magic and space at the same time, you know.
Well, it's our bridge to get into the magic.
They're like advanced. They have like an advanced technology.
They're fucking gods. That's what I don't understand.
No,
it's like they're literally, they don't have to serve. They don't have to, like, if if they didn't have an Infinity Stone, which is probably why they got it.
You have to protect the universe, dude. Like, that's their job. Because if something happens, that'll affect them as well.
I guess.
You have to somebody has to keep the balance between the universes, because if they don't, there's just going to be chaos.
Howard the Duck's going to kill. He's going to kill Thanos.
Howard the Duck is going to kill Thanos. That would be the shit.
From within.
Let's talk about some other parts of the movie before we wrap this up, because it's getting close to fight time.
Yeah, it's been an hour already.
There's a lot of I really like that sequence between Gamora and Nebula when she like tries to murder her on
with the spaceship.
Yeah,
I didn't at first, and then
it paid off at the end for you.
I liked where it went. Yeah, because at first I'm like, really, this is stupid.
Right.
But thematically, it made sense from the beginning because I didn't know where it was going.
Right.
And then you find out that like she really wasn't trying to kill her. It was more like, you know, it's like Joker and Batman.
Right.
Where Joker. Well, but
that's a stretch, but
no, but I'm saying like the Joker's always trying to kill Batman, but he doesn't really want to kill him.
Right.
Or he's trying to get Batman to do things, but he doesn't really want Batman to die.
Well,
otherwise, what else is he going to live for?
He'd have no purpose, exactly.
Right.
But Nebula has a purpose.
Well, no, I'm just saying though, like in my mind, on the surface, at first it seemed out of nowhere and stupid. Not out of nowhere because it's explained, but just kind of like really.
I was trying to reverse the role, like,
but then it paid
Gamora
off.
was actually the evil one, and I mean, and she kind of was at the beginning until she decides she changes her mind in Guardians. Like, she's like, if this guy gets a hold of this thing, he's going to be too powerful, and that's why she had to stop it, you know. And then she gets redeemed by Peter Quill, you know.
Are they destined to be together?
I guess. I mean, that's just romance for romance sake, you know. I feel like that doesn't.
Not relevant.
It's a part of the story, but is it an important part of the story? To me, not so much. Like, if they didn't have the romance angle, it would be fine.
Well, all I know is if they get together, she'll probably be dropped out of the film because anyone who's in a relationship has been dropped.
Somebody dies.
Well, Pepper Potts, not in the movies anymore. What's his name? Thor's wife. I mean, there's no significant others.
Oh, Jane Foster.
Yeah, I mean, name me one significant other that's still in the universe. You can't because they don't exist unless it's a bromance.
I mean, I think that has more to do with money. Like, we don't think your character is important enough for us to pay you tons of money to have you in the movie.
True.
You know, I mean, Black Widow's got something going on with the Hulk.
Well, all of them actually. That's why
Or
Chris
Hawkeye.
Evans called her a whore.
No, Hawkeye called her a whore.
Oh, I thought.
No, it was Hawkeye.
Oh,
whatever his name is.
excuse me. I'm sorry. Well, maybe she shouldn't have hooked up with all those Avengers.
Guess not. No, I'm trying to think. I really liked that. I mean, this movie just had a lot of redemption going on in it, and I feel like, you know,
it was a good thematic movie, which I liked. It was a movie where it brought on this quote unquote stupid action, and actually none of it was stupid, but it brought on like the mindless violence or whatever that you'd expect in a popcorn movie. But there was some depth to it, which I liked because the thematics were there. And it's definitely a thematic movie about father, and like I just liked how it just the fact that you actually care about what's his name, the blue dude. Fuck, what's his name? Michael Rooker. Yondu.
Yeah.
You care about him during his funeral. Like,
right.
If he died in the first one and had a funeral at the end, like, no one would give a shit. He earned it. That's my point. Like, he earned that where you actually like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah, he was a martyr. He sacrificed himself.
The dad. Oh, Mary Poppins. That's the shit where...
That was funny.
Oh, Mary Poppins. It was good. It was good, though. I mean, it was worth the money I didn't spend for sure.
When they, I mean, there's just all these cool little things when he turns himself into Pac-Man while they're fighting.
Oh yeah, that was funny. With the Pac-Man sound effect too. I mean, those are good. Those are good little throwbacks.
Right.
Where if the tone on this one was nailed perfectly.
Absolutely.
Perfectly, because normally, like just last week, I was bitching about how Marvel's like super formulaic. Like, here's some action, here's a joke. To me, there really wasn't a formula here.
Right.
There was, but you really didn't know when the jokes were coming because they
Right.
can come at any time. But they were fitting, and even at the end with Pac-Man, like you would think at that point in the movie, you're gonna be all serious,
Right, because the fucking world is collapsing. They're trying to blow the world up.
And there's literally a
There's things
scene
falling from the sky and crushing everybody. Like
There's literally a scene where they're trying to find tape,
yeah.
which I was like, normally I would find it stupid, but I'm like, all right, okay, they're going with it. They went with it. Like, go ask if they have tape, and I figured it would just end there. And then he literally, that's where they used Atmos the best, I thought, because you could hear,
Yeah, you can hear it going around.
Star-Lord going around the whole
tape.
theater. Does Scotch tape work? And he's like, Drax doesn't have Scotch
So
tape.
why would he bring it?
I mean, it was funny. It made me laugh because you could see all of these characters like Drax saying, "Yeah, I got. What about Scotch tape?" Just randomly, like, I don't have any though. Or you're ugly. He called Mantis ugly.
Yeah,
a bunch of times.
You're hideous.
You're hideous.
No, you are hideous.
I didn't expect that from you. Like, she did something like weak or something. So that was funny. I don't know. He's just funny. It was just a good movie all around.
I'm gonna see it again. I want to see it in IMAX just to see if there's any.
Is it 3D IMAX?
I don't know. Fuck 3D.
I hope it wasn't, because this movie looked super colorful and vibrant, and I feel like putting on those dark glasses would ruin
That
it.
kills it.
I mean, but maybe not. I don't know. Depends. It didn't seem like an IMAX. I mean, a 3D movie though. To me.
Right.
Like, there was nothing about it where I would have been like, oh yeah. But
I've yet to see a 3D movie that other than
Avatar,
and even then, like I watched Avatar in regular, and it was
just as good.
yeah, it was fine. It wasn't. It didn't really change.
Avatar, Life of Pi, and
I haven't watched that in any format.
Hugo. And I heard what's it called was really good in 3D, but I didn't see it. Great Gatsby. I know you'd never watch it,
No.
but because they're not 3D movies, but they shot with 3D and utilized 3D
Right.
like from the jump.
Right.
So like Life of Pi was good in that way, where you could tell like Ang Lee thought about a 3D composition.
Right.
Same thing with Scorsese. You thought about James Cameron. Like that makes the difference.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just, I don't know.
That's
making it
fair.
up.
Well then, yeah.
Wholeheartedly recommend it though, for
yeah,
sure.
definitely.
It's their best movie since Doctor Strange.
If you listen to this, and you don't care about spoilers, we highly recommend it. You should definitely go watch it. Don't watch it at ArcLight Sherman Oaks Atmos because the fucking screen was tiny,
It was really small.
even though the room itself was huge.
Yep.
It was like it was a pretty big room, but the screen, I was like, what?
That's the new thing now. It's because they've retrofitted everything
right
to shoot to do 4K projectors, and they got new screens. I mean, I don't know ArcLight specifically, but when I saw Colossal last week, I saw it at the Landmark, and they retrofitted their entire theater to where you're literally sitting on couches, like not like the lounge chairs,
It's not a
but
big
like
movie though.
no, it's not. But that theater never was a couch theater.
Right.
It was just only recently one.
Yeah.
And so as a result, everything feels more spread out.
Right.
Because they've utilized more of the theater space, and the screen is small, even though it should have just been a little small.
But then
theater.
again, at the place that I've taken you over here with the
Well, the last time I went there, you bought tickets like in the fucking last row with the tiny ass theater screen.
I don't remember the screen being that small. It was definitely bigger than the screen we saw today.
Oh, for sure. But
Yeah.
when you sit in the back, it's the same thing.
Fair enough.
For Doctor Strange, that was the last time. I think that was the last movie, unless there was something else.
I don't know. Didn't you watch Old Man? Didn't we watch Old Man Logan together? No, that was Miguel.
No,
Okay.
I didn't see that.
Never mind. All right. Well, that's that.
Nice hour-long talk.
Catch us next time. We're gonna be back on with the regular podcast on Tuesday.
Luke.
With Luke Phillips, our resident political expert, who
Soon to be former
former political correspondent.
Yeah. He's moving.
Yeah, he'll probably explain that. And that's it. Have a good one, guys.